Hi, this is Ragan Freitag, and I'm with the Sterk Law Firm, and I have the honor to be with former Circuit Judge Carla Policandriotes and County Board Member Judy Ogalla. And today we're here at Family Guidance in Manteno, who Carla is now a consultant with, and also in Judy's district, serving her constituents as well as people throughout Illinois, correct, Carla?
Throughout the state, absolutely.
And first I'd like to start out, Carla, you were a circuit judge in Will County, correct?
I call it my prior life. Yes, I was a Will County Circuit Judge, and before my retirement I was presiding judge of the Felony Division. Had the benefit of being responsible for our problem-solving courts, initially known as the Will County Drug Court Program. We have a Will County Veterans Court Program. We have a court call that's referred to as Adult Redeploy, which is a higher need program than the other two as indicated. And Will County is also very, very progressive. We also have a separate Will County Mental Health Court.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Very
and
amazing.
How long were you the presiding judge over the problem-solving courts?
There was a transition period, so I think that I became fully responsible in the end of 2003.
And now what's the difference between problem-solving courts and regular court?
As a felony judge, you see great differences. A problem-solving court is when the issues of the underlying offense are addressed on an individual basis with the defendant. The other courts rarely, until a few years ago, would address issues of need for a defendant. They would indicate issues of punishment or mitigation as it relates to maybe restitution to a victim, but didn't address the recidivism rate of not addressing the underlying problems that had to be serviced.
And when you talk about recidivism, that in turn helps the county board and helps save the county and our constituents money, correct?
You know, I was very fortunate because when I was a circuit judge, I had someone like Judy Ogalla who always kept an open mind. When we would come back to the county board again, we would give periodic reports of how much they should be proud of the programs that were in place, that they were supporting, partially funding. It was from everything. You know, the Will County Sheriff's Police is one of the largest budgets for the Will County Board. Not just their payroll for their deputies, but the necessity of maintaining the Will County Adult Detention Facility. So what better than to have less people there?
Absolutely.
And if they are there, best use of time. So what occurred was we were able to get family guidance centers into the Will County Adult Detention Facility to do the necessary assessments so that a judge, whether it was a problem-solving court judge or someone on the felony level, any of my colleagues, would have recommendations for treatment, which was invaluable, but once we had the opportunity to know what we could provide the person, the tools to be successful, we had to have a place for them to go. And I think my relationship after retirement family guidance was because they did not just stop at the assessment portion of responsibility. They gave recommendations and also provided the necessary care, the follow-up. And you didn't have to be from the right family. You know, you didn't have to have the Cadillac insurance. Probably the most surprised person, like your colleagues, you know, and I told Judy a long time ago, if somebody comes to family guidance and they have nothing, that is no difference. There'll be no cost to the county. There's no cost to that family. It eliminates another barrier to help someone in need. So,
And Judy, as the former chair of the Public Health and Safety Committee, you work with the judiciary, and part of working with the judiciary is finding out what programs that the problem-solving courts do. Now, Carla, moving into being a consultant with Family Guidance, you've had them come to your committees, correct?
Correct. One of the things with chairing public health and safety for the last 4 years has been awesome because it's something that's so critical, especially with the opioid crisis going on. And I always wanted to make the committee meetings very informational. So we always had news reporters in the room. We would occasionally have somebody who was recording it. So that way, if anything was brought up in the meeting, somebody could watch it and learn from it and find help. If we reached one person, to me that was always great. And on a monthly basis, I do get a report from the woman who helps us with the opioid addiction, Dr. Kathleen Burke. She gives us a report all the time, tells us all about the different things going on with opioid use, substance use, what happens, and then different programs that are available. And one of the ones that I think is the greatest one we've had is the family guidance, because it offers so much help to everybody.
Well, they truly are the base for the Safe Passage program in Will County. They're the ones that have been in the forefront of providing services and being the one call for any of the local police departments where they have someone who's asking for help.
And another nexus too, as former Judge Carla was ahead of the problem-solving court, something recent that the county board did was work with the state's attorney's office in getting another treatment home. Isn't that correct?
That's correct. Yep.
And so what exactly? I'll ask both of you. What exactly do those treatment homes do?
Well, Will County was the first in the country to have its own recovery home underneath a problem-solving court. Based on the numbers, the first recovery home was presented to men. We had more men in our specialty courts than we had women. When that was so successful, we also had a women's recovery home. The recovery home is a safe place for someone to be who has gone through a treatment facility like this here in Manteno, where they have leaving with the tools to be successful, but need a base. They need a place where it continues to be supported. For our recovery homes in the problem-solving courts, there is a home manager. They do toxicology testing. They support each other in recovery. They go to meetings together, all kinds of things. And the rent is very affordable. So sometimes by the time someone actually gets to treatment, works real hard in treatment, is ready to walk out the door, it's not like they have a savings account or the family hasn't gone through their resources. So having a recovery home base gets somebody a safe place to be that is affordable and lets them stay there long enough to get back on their feet, to go in, maybe back home or to their own independent living. The house that the county just agreed to purchase is the next step after the recovery home.
Okay.
It's even more independent living.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's more independent living. So you have yet another step down to that full independence. And we found over time
Now, can you live in these homes that Will County has and work with family guidance at the same time?
Many of the participants in any of the problem-solving courts are a part of the family guidance program. That's how I was introduced to them. That's how I learned about family guidance. Okay. They are providing assessments, they're providing treatment to many of those communities. But now in Will County, as Judy knows, you don't have to be in the problem-solving courts to get the help. And that was probably the most courageous thing that the county board and the Will County Judiciary did. We took it outside of the problem-solving courts, and now family guidance services are offered no matter which courtroom you end up being in. And if you are eligible and acceptable to the program, you can be allowed by a judge to be able to go into the program.
Okay.
We were very, very happy. They found this great apartment building, very small, so that it was enough that somebody could be there, the manager could be there, and be able to be in contact with the people who are staying there. Because a lot of times, once they leave the recovery home, where do they go? They didn't have anywhere to go that could be maintained without going right back to where they came from. And sometimes the individual needs a little longer time to be getting themselves back on track. And this new apartment apartment home that we're buying is going to be able to provide that. So it'll be great.
Perfect. Yep. It gives them that long-term stability. And sometimes I think it's human nature. Once I have done something for a while, then I realize I can do it. You know, I don't use our DVR at home. I don't use the DVD player because I can't do it. I never tried. I just hand it to one of the teenagers or my husband. Knowing you can do it is because you've done it. So giving people that stability, that the history of being successful, in essence, helps with further success.
Well, going into you saying, what you know is, you continue to do the work And Carla, that's kind of what you know what it is like to have a felony, to have a drug issue, because those defendants were before you as a judge.
Every day.
And so now you've transitioned into this position. Can you explain now what you're doing with Family Guidance?
Hopefully I'm helping them with awareness. I'm trying to get them access to different communities, and I can, I'm very fortunate based on my history, I can call Judy and say, Judy, we have another idea. Can we come to you? And we have, and she's been very receptive. I think if I go out and talk about Family Guidance and their success, or the availability for treatment, and the needs of treatment, I don't sound like a salesperson. Or sometimes, if you don't have a certain touch in the community, some people might say, well, somehow she's selling it.
Correct, yep.
Right.
I'm selling it, but for the different reasons. I'm selling it because I have a history, it's been successful, and they have such a longevity of stability for our community.
And I understand that, as you know, I was a criminal defense attorney that appeared before you. I was also a Will County Board member, and these issues, as you both know, are very important to me. And I like to continue this outreach with the Sterk Family Law Firm, because those are issues near and dear to our firm. And so I think the more, whether it's in your capacity or yours or mine or any of you out there, however we can push this out there and get people to know that the resources are here and that they can contact anyone, whether it's a former judge or their county board member or their family law attorney. I think that is the most important, and we really need to get this message out. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. In fact, the presiding judge in the Family Law Division in Will County has asked me to present to the family law judges so that they know the resources as well. So I'm on their docket next month, so they know that Family Guidance is available and there's no expense to it based on, and so that when an attorney like yourself or who have struggling families, you can give them other options. And the judges will be aware of those options, so you don't feel like you're recreating the wheel each time you're talking about needs of clients.
That's wonderful. I'd like to thank both of you so much for being here, and continue your good work and stay in contact with our law firm. And please know that you can contact Family Guidance, go to their website and contact them if you have any questions or need any help.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.